All right, 1 2 1 2. We checking in from the bottom of the map. From the bottom of the map. Welcome,
Hey, hey,
welcome all to the bottom of the map show. It's your boy Israel. Got my dog Ike Hayes in the place to be. Checking in live, reporting on all things college football related by way of the 305 down south, down bottom, whatever you want to call it. But that's what we call it. We know it as checking in. We on week 3 college football. We got a big plate. No major games going on this weekend. No ranked games.
some good games though. Some
Some
good
good,
games.
some good games. Some good games, but nothing to get up for. It's not going to be probably no moving around in the rankings, because teams
But
have some big upsets. But what you got? What you got? What you got for me?
I'm gonna take right what you said. Upset. Um, this game used to be bigger than what it is now because both of those teams. Tennessee is actually ranked though. So let's rewind here. Tennessee is a top 10 team. Had a great record last year. Um, beat Alabama, I believe. Took took a lot of, just were a kind of a surprise team, and they're rebuilding the program. And I like them to be good in the near future. They had a 6-year senior last year, got a 6-year senior this year. Hooker was the quarterback last year. This year they got Milton. They're a top 10 team that has to go into the swamp to play, Napier's Gators. Um, and I'm not gonna say I'm high on Gators, but they're always solid on defense. Usually solid in the running game. But they got Wisconsin's old quarterback, and we talked about that earlier this season. I didn't like them first game of the season at all. I think me and my friends, we really talked about it. We didn't like them. Knew they were gonna lose. What happened? Utah kind of came in there, and I felt like they beat them, and maybe the score doesn't indicate how much behind that we saw Florida's program. This is a rushing game. I feel like, it's a new coach, it's a new program, much like UM. They are rebuilding, but Tennessee did not look good against Austin P. And sometimes when they play these cupcake teams, you can't really get a read on, well, are they really that good or are they playing down? Either way, for some reason, I think Tennessee barely survives, or Tennessee might lose. I think they go to the swamp. I'm not gonna call a loss. I'm gonna stop short of saying that. But the line was at 7.5. Tennessee, that line has moved all the way down to 5.5. So the bettors are not high on Tennessee either. So I think that I can't really, like you said, I don't think there's any other big games, but I'm calling upset alert for Tennessee. I think Tennessee loses. They're out of the 10, top 10, and we see some shuffling. So I think that's my upset alert of the week. I don't know if you see something else.
I like that pick. I like Florida. I just feel like they don't have an identity. It felt like they haven't had an identity for a few years. They had Anthony Richardson. You thought there was going to be like this dynamic passing team, but they weren't. You thought there was going to be like scoring, but they weren't. Even what was the quarterback before him who was really good? They had a dope quarterback before him.
I
Um,
can't I
he was
can't
a
think of I
transfer.
can't even see that right now.
He was a transfer. He came in and balled out. But they same thing. They thought it was gonna be, passing attack. It was gonna be kind of the old Florida. It hasn't been. So
Mm.
they're not like a stout defensive team, and they're not like a great running team. They got ETN, their running back, but they're not really like they just
Mm.
ain't found the identity. I do think though, playing in the swamp, 100,000, I could play a factor. Tennessee doesn't have a great track record against them in the swamp. I think they're what you said, they're like 0-9
I
or
think they
something.
might be like 0-9 the last 10 games or
Yeah,
last
that's
9
saying,
games.
yeah, in the swamp. So yeah, I think that's a good pick for upset alert. You said the line is at 5.
It's at 5.5 now. A week ago it was 7.5. So you
Mm,
know,
yeah.
game time it might move. I don't like it to move no more. It's not before the game, but yeah, 6. I mean,
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. I would take. Yeah, I would say, man, Florida and the points, but I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like I haven't seen enough from their offense. I haven't really seen them like on defense be like, you know, just like I said, I don't have no identity. I just don't know what Florida team. What are they right now? You don't
I
know.
just, Tennessee is night and day. They were a team come out first play bomb. They had all those great receivers, all that talent left. The cool part about them is there's no quarterback play. It's going to be about which quarterback step ups. I think Florida always has a solid defense, right? But obviously they're not going to save you. I'm hearing a lot of hype about Tennessee's defense, but I'm one of the people where you got to show me. You got to show me. I don't want to hear about it. Nah, show me what you finna do. And this is going to be their first real test against lower competition, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game was close. Listen, Austin P was close, so I don't know, but you never know what they have in a year. I ain't hating on Tennessee. I just don't like them this game.
um, a game that I'm looking at is Florida State and Boston College. They had the line last time I checked. The line was at 24.5. I think that's easy money.
Okay.
Florida State offense looks legit. It looks like a legit number two, number three, whatever their ranking is right now. I think the last poll had them. Different polls have them between like second and third. Um,
So they 2-3 right now. They're not 4 or 5 anymore.
no. I've been seeing them at 2 and 3. Different polls.
Okay.
Some power rankings have them like number two.
If
But
Georgia wasn't the champ, the boys would be number one. They love him so much. I already know that.
yeah. But I see Florida State like their offense is just clicking right now. Great running back play, receivers all over the place. Jordan Travis. It's crazy they're not talking about him for Heisman. Like he's been playing great, been having great games, been making plays all over the place. We don't care nothing about Florida State, but being also unbiased, like
Yeah. I gotta respect the fact that right now they
he
look. I mean, Boston College. I haven't watched them play, but I heard they're terrible. I heard they're
they're
terrible. I heard Boston College is a super down year for them.
they lost to Northern Illinois and they beat Holy Cross by 1 point.
Holy cross! See, and I'm laughing, but I mean, at the end of the day, and Holy One is FCS, right?
Holy Cross, they might be. I'm not sure, but they might be. If they're FBS, they're at the bottom. They're
Okay, so we talking the Citadel, we talking the old UMass because UMass actually won the score. We talking about old UConn. Okay. Um, did Florida? My last question is: did Florida State cover the spread last week?
I
I
don't know.
didn't mess with them last week, and I felt like it was a cupcake team, but they already had. I think it was like a 20-something spread then. So I was
They
like,
did. No, I think they covered. I think Florida State covered last week.
Florida State fans will know this because they betting with their team. I know they betting with their team right now. This is the time to do it. So that's actually I feel like for where Florida State is, I mean, this is a good look. Bet, you know what I'm saying? Like, why not bet with them? If you were never going to bet with Florida State before, they got the offense, they stout on defense. We see in goal line stances. So I mean, and if I'm gonna take everybody else's word for it, Boston College is as bad. This gets out of hand early. Okay, this gets out of hand early.
So the only other game I'm really kind of looking at is Alabama and South Florida. I think it's going to be Nick Saban got to have a bounce back game. This is where a game they're playing against. USF is a bad team. They're probably going to crush them boys. It's in the line at like 26. I like Bama to cover. I like Bama to put
USF
50
is bad.
plus.
So we need to do a show on like the worst team so far this season. That
Yeah.
would be that would be a good topic because
Only thing I'm scared of is Alabama is starting Tyler Buckner now.
hold on. What now?
Tyler Buckner, the transfer from Notre Dame, is
Oh,
now
he's starting though?
he's starting.
Oh, on a side note, like we can act like it's nothing, but given the type of week, like I ain't gonna lie, Saban has been the opposite of Dion. They've been mutting that boy in all of the pundits, all the correspondence. It's pretty much like, okay, God is mortal. You already, you're not number one, but you're losing games at home. So they're trying to act like, Nick Saban is doing as much as he can to take out the fire, but that lets me know that they don't believe they don't believe in what is his name, Milrow.
Yeah, Milrow. Yeah,
They don't believe in Milrow, and it's like, okay, he didn't look bad, but they see now to get to the Alabama standard, the standard that they set, that's not going to get it done. I don't know if you're starting a new quarterback. This is a confidence game for him. I don't. Do you know anything about him?
So Tyler Buckner was Notre Dame's quarterback. Well, he was a backup. They got a lot of playing time, but he was their like option. He was their zone read quarterback. So he really wasn't throwing the ball. He was really getting in the game, like specifically to run the ball. and he would pass it a little bit.
Okay.
But he never like won the starting spot. He was like a 5-star recruit quarterback though.
Aren't they
He
all?
never
Aren't
gave
they
you the like he was that guy. He gave you like he can get in the game in packages. They run special plays for him, and then like situational football, like he worked. But to be like your starting quarterback to lead your team every week, nah, wasn't it.
So you say that, and now we look at what Alabama is trying to do. Like, okay, so you're really trading what you already have in Milrow, which Milrow is probably going to be a better athlete. I don't care how good Buckner probably is, because Milrow is a. I think Milrow, if he was a receiver, if he was a slot receiver, or he still did the same job, he could be somebody who's dynamic. I mean, everybody, you know what I'm saying, and so I'm a hater when it comes to Notre Dame's quarterbacks because I be looking out there talking shit like, none of these dudes are slingers. None of them, you know what I'm saying? That's not what I don't remember any recent time in my memory in the last 5 to 10 where I just felt like, okay, hold on. Notre Dame's quarterback. You ain't starting no sentences off like that. We talking about a lot of other things, but until now, which they got Sam Hartman. So I just think it's a good prediction, so I don't want to stray. It is a good prediction. My only thing is 32 points. You're really betting on the fact that because what are we really saying? I don't believe 32 points to Alabama, but I'm once again and I'm betting on other people's bets. I think USF is garbage. So what I'm thinking is that okay, you might not score until the third or fourth quarter. That means that it's just Tyler working out the kinks. But I say if you're gonna do that bet though, I might like Alabama at the half if they'll let you do it. Alabama at the half. Honestly, Alabama the first quarter. I feel like you know what I'm saying. That's my only thing. If you like that bet,
Okay, yeah, that's the only other thing I'm looking at. And I think Georgia South Carolina may be a closer game than a lot of people think, but I'm gonna let toss the ball to you on
I like
that
this game. Look, man, look. See, a lot of these people be getting on these shows and they be lying to you. They be
one.
they be lying to you, and it's all good. They do all this motherfucking fancy analysis, but when it get down to it, I've been getting popped on big ass spreads because everybody associated with UM, so I don't even feel bad about that. But I got popped with my team, and I be breaking my own rule. I try to bet very conservative, but I got popped all over on UM, and it wasn't that much money, only like $10 or $15. But I lost on the over, and I lost on the motherfucking spread, and I knew better. That being stated, for some reason, this is the year. Georgia 2 years ago, you could bet on Georgia when they were 30 up on a shutout of 48 up and you will cover the spread. I feel like this is the opposite. Until Georgia shows me, I know they haven't had to, there's no panic button, but this is all about making predictions as well as winning the money. So I love the 27 points. I just think that South Carolina gonna get the fuck up. If people are playing down the competition, they're gonna get up. I watched a lot of the North Carolina South Carolina game. If Spencer get time, I don't think his talent is what anybody questions. It's that line. I think at the end of and Georgia's the champ, so I gotta respect them. Obviously, there's no way in hell South Carolina wins. If South Carolina pulls the upset of the century tomorrow, goddamn it! Listen, somebody out there bet the money though. Somebody out there
Nobody gonna bet that money. Nobody gonna jump.
But I don't like Georgia to cover the 27 points. I think just in a more traditional motherfucking sense, take the points.
Yeah.
Take these big ass spreads when it's not a cupcake. Respect. Yeah. I like Shane Beamer. I'm gonna say it 2 times. I like Shane Beamer. I like Shane Beamer. That man is just something about him. I like his daddy. I just think, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. It's just I like that, man. So I'm betting, and it's 27 and a half, so that's technically almost 28. Yeah, I'm taking the points. And I think if you lose on that, you don't feel bad. But I don't think Georgia's gonna cover. I don't think Georgia's gonna cover.
Georgia gonna cover? Okay.
All right.
Well, before we jump out of here, you got any other games or any other teams?
Real quick. And speaking of the trend of taking the points, Ole Miss and Georgia Tech, they're giving Georgia Tech like 20 points. Take the points. Ole Miss has not been looking strong. I love Lane, though. I love Lane. But yeah, I'm taking the points. And last, LSU, this is the prove me week. If it's not a major week, it's a prove me week. So LSU has to walk into Starksville, Mississippi, and show Mississippi State that they're gonna beat them by. I don't know what that line is. The line before was 9.5. These lines are moving. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a little bit lower, but I wouldn't put a large weight on it, but you know what? I don't know nothing no more about Mississippi State, but I'm rocking with Mississippi State, and I like LSU, but I'll take the points. Look, this is the week where I take the points. That's all the points I got.
Hey, mark my words. What I told you about Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly, once he gets into the losing trend, he gets into
Yeah,
the losing
yeah,
trend.
yeah, yeah. Hey,
He gets
listen,
into the losing trend. He gets into the trend of losing. It's so weird because like if he's in the winning trend, he constantly wins. But if he comes off of a game where he loses, he loses his confidence in like the follow up games. Be like, man, they don't look good. They out.
hey, he's with
This,
the
this,
LSU about to see. And this is, like I said, a big statement for him. I think that all Mississippi State has to do, I feel like they're playing spoiler. All they got to do is keep it competitive and the betters win. And then on top of that, I don't know if people really expect them to win. This is, I'm not going to say it's a must win game because I don't be knowing what that type of shit mean. I just know it's important. If you don't want to be looking like Jimbo, you need to win this motherfucking game. Okay, so
yeah,
I'm telling you like that.
yeah. All right, well, shoot, that's all I got for for the picks of this weekend. Like I say, no big games, nothing, no
Where Tennessee
heavyweight.
loses.
Yeah,
Tennessee loses, top 10 shakeup, baby.
yeah. But other than that, it's really no I think South Carolina, I don't see an upset, but I think they can make
Next
it
week is
close.
when we get to see who these teams really are and some matchups. This is. But if you're betting, to me, this is a week, and there's a lot of other bets that we didn't cover. But this is a week where you get your money up. You know what I'm saying? This is a little week get your money up. So we get your
Money
money
up.
up. We gonna catch it. We gonna catch you next pick 'em.
I think this is also a week to kind of like watch some of the other teams that you might not have been paying attention to. Watch
We
the
tripping. Last bet. We riding prime. So
yeah,
it's prime been jumping out there. Just because you've made money with Prime the last two games, and smart bettors know when to lay off. This is a game where you know what? Maybe you don't bet this game, but then next week is going to be where you're going to get tested because they're not going to be favored. So then I think it becomes, you know what? But this is a good week to still bet. If you lose, it's a good bet. It's a good bet. They got something to play for.
yeah, and they got all the material they need. But we're gonna cover
Exactly.
Prime at another time.
All right, all
Yeah.
right, all
All right, so man, got some good picks. We're gonna start keeping track, keeping
right.
score,
Keep
how the
track. If
picks
you
turn
lose, I'm
out.
gonna tell you, hey, I lost.
Hey, we're gonna keep score. We're gonna keep track and see how these picks turn out. Just a lot of games coming on tomorrow, and we're just gonna be checking back in and keeping it all the way live from 305.
Hey, that's it, and we out.
And we out.